Good morning everyone, I am Ma.Christine S. Moreno, and for this presentation, I am going to discuss the solutions for problem 25, which focuses on shareholders' equity section. So what is required in this problem is first, to prepare the journal entries to record the transactions. Second, prepare the shareholders' equity section of the Statement of Financial Position on December 31, 2018. So, following is the shareholders' equity of Valdez Corporation on January 1, 2018. Ordinary shares amount to 6 million pesos, share premium account has 500,000 pesos, and the retained earnings has 1,800,000. So, these are the transactions during 2018. Number 1, January 26, Valdez reacquired for cash 5,000 shares of its ordinary shares for 110 pesos per share. So, to record this, January 26, we will debit treasury stock for 550,000. And as a payment for the purchase of treasury stock from shareholders, we will credit cash for 550,000. And the explanation is acquisition of treasury shares at cost 110 pesos. 5,000 times, and the calculation is 5,000 times 110 pesos. On April 4, Valdez sold for cash 3,000 shares of its treasury stock for 140 pesos per share. So to record this, we will debit cash for 420,000 and credit treasury stock at cost 330,000 pesos. The excess will go to share premium treasury for 90,000 pesos. And the explanation is reissuance of treasury share above cost. So number 3, on June 1, Valdez declared a cash dividend of 20 pesos per share payable July 5 to shareholders of record on July 1. So when it comes to dividends, there are 3 important dates that the corporation must take note. But the date of declaration and date of payment are the only dates that the corporation must make an entry. So in this transaction, date of declaration is on June 1 and the date of payment is on July 5. To record this, on June 1, since the distribution of dividends are always being taken from the retained earnings, we will debit retained earnings for 1,160,000 pesos and credit cash dividends payable, which an account that represents liability because they are not yet paying the dividends. Also for 1,160,000 pesos. Explanation, declaration of cash dividends 20 pesos per share. And the calculation is 58,000, which is the outstanding shares times 20. And on the date of payment, July 25, we will debit the cash dividends payable for 1,160,000 pesos and credit cash for 1,160,000 pesos. The explanation is payment of cash dividends. Number 4, on November 1, Valdez declared a 2-for-1 split and changed the par value from 100 pesos to 50 pesos. On November 20, shares were issued for the share split. So since it's a transaction about share split, we are not going to have a journal entry, but instead we are going to have a memo entry. So for November 1, the memo entry is a 2-for-1 share split increased the number of ordinary shares from 60,000 shares to 120,000 shares and reduced the par value from 50 pesos to 100 pesos. So, as you can see, 60,000 shares is the overall issued shares of the corporation. This includes the outstanding shares plus the treasury shares. So, on November 20, the memo entry is issued 60,000 new shares with 4,000 shares held in treasury. So we have 60,000 new shares since the other 60,000 shares were already issued before the share split. So number 5, on December 5, 4,000 shares were issued in exchange for a second-hand equipment. The equipment originally cost 400,000 pesos, was carried by the previous owner at a book value of 200,000 pesos and was recently appraised at 260,000 pesos. So to record this, on December 5, we are going to debit equipment for 260,000 pesos and credit ordinary shares at par for 200,000 pesos. The excess will go to share premium ordinary account, which is 60,000 pesos. Explanation: issuance of 4,000 shares in exchange for asset. For the last item, profit for 2018 was 1,530,000 pesos. To record this, on December 31, we are going to debit income summary 1,730,000 and credit retained earnings 1,730,000 pesos. The explanation: to record the profit for 2018. So for the shareholders equity section of the financial position for the year ended 2018, the share capital, which consists of ordinary shares 50 pesos par, with 124,000 shares issued and 120,000 shares outstanding, as a total of 6,200,000 pesos. The share premium ordinary account has a total of 560,000 pesos, and the share premium treasury has a total of 90,000 pesos. We are going to add these three and we will get the 6,850,000 pesos. This represents the total share capital. And we will add this to the retained earnings, which is 2,370,000. The total will be 9,220,000 pesos. But since we have treasury shares, which is 2,000 shares multiplied by its original cost, 110 pesos, we are going to deduct 220,000 pesos from 9,220,000 pesos. So the total shareholders' equity will be 9 million pesos.